Welcome, aftermarket pros, to For the Record. Now listen to a slice of wisdom, a concept, a sentiment, and maybe even a rant from one of your industry colleagues. For the Record.
Hey, welcome to For the Record, episode 74. Now, why do we put up with so much that constantly bothers us? Are we immune to it? Hello, friends. Carm Capriato, the Automotive Aftermarket Podcast guy, with Deb Van Batenburg from ACDC. Now, she's got a knock upside the head for us on the things we seem to tolerate every day. Hey, just a quick second to speak to you about FlexCheck Auto. Now, do you feel like you're not being heard, like the resources currently available to you are just not meeting your needs? Well, FlexCheck Auto is digital vehicle inspection software engineered to meet your shop's needs and not the other way around. It's built from the ground up by a master technician. You know, FlexCheck Auto is fully customizable, so you're in control. The system quickly adapts to your needs and processes. It's fast, it's guided, it's affordable, and inexpensive. And it's going to improve your shop's efficiency both at the counter and in the bays. Give it a try for free for 30 days. Go to flexcheckauto.com to get started today. Hey, please don't forget about the powerful content on this podcast's website. There are great resources there, not only the library of over 600 audio workshops, but you've got the books page, social page, and the free listening app page. Also, the AMI page and more. Spend some time with remarkableresults.biz. Hey, also, it could be your time to have your own For the Record episode. Now, I welcome you to get out your smartphone and turn on the audio recorder. Go into your own walk-in closet and record. Make it under 10 minutes, and then email it to me. It just doesn't get much easier. Hey, you know, the views and opinions expressed are those of my guest and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the authors, sponsors, associates, or affiliates of my company, LSTN Media, LLC. You know, Deb Van Batenburg and I caught up at Apex 19, and she was sharp and on her game as she ranted away about tolerances. She makes such a great point on how we put up with things that are just not efficient. They're quick fixes and basically just don't get the job done anymore. However, we seem to tolerate them every day. Now, she wants you to fix them.
Well, hi, this is Deb Van Batenburg from ACDC. That's the Automotive Career Development Center, based out of Worcester, Massachusetts, a company owned by myself and my husband, Craig Van Batenburg, and we do training all over the world. I'm here today with Carm, and I'm going to do a little rant.
A little For the Record
I'm going to do a little For the Record. Cool. Now, these are always fun to listen to, and we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to recruit Deb because I just love all the articles that you've written and the passion you have for our industry. So we were having a cocktail last night.
Yes.
And you came up to me and she says, I got it, Carm, I got it. And so we're at Apex doing this. And what are we going to talk about today?
Okay, so we're going to talk about something called tolerances. What the heck are tolerances? Well, I'll tell you. They're the things that you're living with and tolerating in your life that are ridiculous.
I put up with a lot of stuff.
Well, everybody does. But the thing is, we put up with it, and then we waste all this time creating bypass strategies to go around the thing that we actually just need to fix the thing.
Wow.
So the first tolerance that I came up with in thinking about this was how when we had a shop, Van Batenburg's Garage, we had a first aid kit. And it was very important that everyone know where it was. Well, it was on a top shelf. I'm short. There was no way I could reach it. So for me to get the first aid kit, I had to stand up on the top step of a little stairwell. I had to reach across a walkway to reach the first aid kit, which then fell on my head. And I thought, this is not a good strategy for first aid. I need first aid to get the first aid.
Oh, my God.
So I brought it to my husband, and I said, why do we have the first aid kit on the top shelf? And he said, I don't know. It's been there for years.
Right.
So the thing was, we were living with this thing that was just not working, but nobody ever stopped to fix it. So that's a tolerance. You live with them every day in your shop. What is the thing in your shop that you are always walking around or is always in the way, but you never take the time to fix it? And, you know, what system is just boggled up. That doesn't have to be that way, because once you create a bypass strategy and then everyone starts to bypass, it's a big time waster. You just need to have a 15-minute shop meeting and say, hey, what doesn't work in this space? And let's fix that.
I love what you just said, bypass strategy.
It's a bypass.
Yeah, that's exactly what. So we tolerate this stuff, and how we tolerate it, we create a bypass strategy. And think of the time we waste, the bandwidth that we waste in our own mind to accommodate that. It's profound.
Thank you. I mean, it actually is we do it everywhere in our life. We do it in our homes all the time.
Sure.
Like there's something in the kitchen that's just really inconvenient, but you keep getting the step stool out to get it. And that's a time waster too. And then nobody can find anything. Another example is I went to a shop. The person hates smoking, but the person had a big one of those tall ashtrays outside the door where it said smoking. Well, the thing was actually smoking. I mean, no one had attended to this thing. I think it had cigarettes from the last 4 years in it. And I mentioned it, and he said, I just don't look at that thing. I hate smoking so much. I just bypass it. And, that's another thing you're tolerating. It doesn't need to be that way.
And 75% of the people that walk in that shop aren't smokers. They probably can smell it. It looks ugly. And yet the owner is tolerating it to be there.
It's a monument to something they don't like. Why would you want a monument to something you don't like at your front door?
Yeah, right. The bypass strategy is to ignore it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we ignore it. So in our office, we had this thing with shipping. We ship a lot of books and things that we, sell out of convenience to our customers. So everybody goes to the post office. So shipping labels and shipping receipts were always in everybody's cars, and they were here and they were there. And we have a shipping log book that the system was you come in and you paste the thing in, and then you write the date, you write who you ship to. Well, that's fine, but nobody was taking the time to do it. And so we were always looking for shipping labels. Now, we ship really quickly, and we're pretty darn good at it. But one day, out of frustration, we grabbed a bunch of coffee cups, and we said, okay, if the order is pending, put it in this coffee cup. If the order went to the post office, move the slip over. And we just started laughing at how ridiculous this system was. But we needed to do something immediately, and coffee cups were immediate.
And that's a metaphor for clipboards and for those little needles you would slice, paper on. And how we...
and Post-it notes. We talked about those last night.
Yeah.
You've got streams of Post-it notes. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
So we tolerate that. What else?
So I was coaching a women's group and one of shop owners. And one of the women said, well, I leave the shop early and then I come home and I lay out these Post-its for my husband of all the things that didn't get attended to that day. And I put them on his placemat. And she said, it makes me so mad that he doesn't read them. I said, how long have you been doing this? And she said, about 6 months. I said, it's not working. You need a new strategy. The tolerance there was she was going to keep presenting this thing that wasn't working, and it was frustrating her, and her husband was ignoring it. So
she was
absolutely nothing was happening.
She was hoping for a godly intervention.
Absolutely.
And it was never going to happen.
No.
Wow.
That's not.
Why do we keep doing the things over and over again? We put up with stuff. Maybe this For the Record rant is going to resonate with people. And maybe, nobody will change.
Change is that dirty word.
Yeah, it's tough to do. But you know what? I sometimes think that change is a reinvention. It's a chance. Daylight savings time, spring. I mean, things that happen in the world that affect you, outer body. I mean, you could look and see things. Oh, the leaves are falling, the sun is out, and all those things. Says, wow, maybe it's time today to fix something that's broken.
Right. I think all you need to do is identify them. Take, 10 minutes out of your day and just think through the things that you're bypassing. And, call a shop meeting, buy coffee for everyone, do something different out of the ordinary, and just ask for their feedback. Sometimes we forget to ask the most important people. They're your workers.
Wow. So well said. Absolutely so well said. Anything else on tolerance?
Nope.
Any other ideas? You and I have to do some more podcasts together. Would you be willing to do that for me?
Of course.
Because I love all the articles that you've written for Auto Inc. magazine over the years.
Thank you.
So well. You write really well, and they read so easy, and they've been very profound. Did you ever write an article on tolerance?
I did long ago.
And no
long
one
ago.
ever paid attention to it.
Well, I got a lot of good feedback.
I bet you did.
I mean, I'm very pleased that Leona at Auto Inc. let me know that I have some of the most downloaded articles. And I just write them from experience of being, in the shop and being out there. And every day in our business, I speak to shops all over the world. And I've been, lucky enough to go to Europe a lot and see what works there and try to bring that to people also.
Well, Craig's been on, your husband's been on, and he is not bashful about talking about the differences that he sees, and that he sees some really positive things over in Europe that we should figure out how to adapt over here.
So thanks a lot for listening. For the record, this is Deb Van Batenburg. Pleased to be here today with Carm. Thanks, and don't forget to look for some change.